that you can have it all. And by having it all, I mean you can go to Pilates or yoga in the morning, you can have your dream career, you can have your 3 kids perfectly dressed in coordinated outfits at every single, photography event that you plan. Your husband's always smiling, you have this great marriage, your bank account is super healthy, and you're like set to retire by 45 or whatever. It's a myth. I'm at a point in my life now where I don't have to do a lot of the things that I did a few years ago. And on social media, on paper, on camera, yes, it looks like I have it all, but I'm a struggling working mom, just like the other 99% of us that, juggle motherhood and our careers. And I'll tell you a story. When I started my practice several years ago, I had a work from home job that I was doing, and I'd had my first baby. I got into this practice about 3 weeks after I had my first baby. I don't know, I guess I thought I had a lot of time on my hands and it would be, a project, something good to do, and it was kind of spur of the moment. I'd always been interested in cosmetic surgery, interested in med spa and all these things, but I had an experience where I went and got my own treatments, and I was talking to the owner about it, and it led me down this path. And so I decided, 3 weeks after having my first baby, that I was going to start Exert. I started in a little salon suite. I didn't have super reliable childcare, especially on the weekends, so obviously she was going to daycare most of the week. My husband was still at the fire department at that time, so he was gone, 24 hours at a time, every 3 days. And I was open on Saturdays. Like, I would call anybody that I knew. I would ask the teachers when I dropped her off at daycare, and I'd say, hey, do you want to babysit this weekend? Like, I'll pay you. Who can take care of my kid? Because my hours when I first started my med spa salon suite were like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. I did Friday afternoons from 4 p.m. to like 7 or 8 p.m. And occasionally I would get somebody that booked throughout the week that I would do after my work from home job. And that went on for probably 6 to 8 months, where I was juggling all these things. Oh, I had a third job too. I was doing these telehealth visits for Medicare Advantage patients, and so I was doing that as well. And it did not feel like I had it all. Like it was a struggle for sure. And I look back now at that time in my life, and I think, how did I do all of that between the sleep deprivation, the juggling of all the schedules, like the building the business, all the back end stuff that is done for me now. I have staff to schedule, I have staff to answer the phone. Like I had to do all of that. So there's definitely stages in life. If you're a new mom, it feels like a lot, like you're just getting into it. Now that I have 3 kids, I'm like, doesn't matter what they're wearing, doesn't matter if they brush their teeth, like if they're alive, they're good. So having it all, I think there's, times and seasons for it. I'm at a great place right now where we moved into our new beautiful building. We've got a staff of 12, everybody's rocking and rolling, we're growing like crazy, we're busy with surgery. But I still get the itch, and I'm here like, should I open another office? Should I throw myself back into the chaos? Should I try to grow more? Like, how to spend my time? And when you're a high achiever, when you're somebody that, likes to start things, likes to grow things, you just keep moving the bar. So I don't know if you've experienced this as well, but I can't sit still. And I achieve these goals that I set myself, every year at the end of the year in December, I sit with my husband and we put together a Word document, and it's got like revenue goals. We put goals in there like how many times we're gonna exercise. We put goals in there about like if we're gonna have a baby that year. Like it is pretty detailed. But the more you hit these goals, you continue to shift the goalpost more and more forward. Like, you know, it was okay to travel twice a year. Now it's like, well, I want to fly private, you know, and your goals keep getting bigger. So then you have to grow your business more, and you have to work harder, make more money. So that is definitely a kind of a trap that you can fall into. So another great activity that I like to do is we've got a vision board. My husband and I did the first one when we first got married, and it's got, you know, how many kids we're gonna have. It had the words "a successful business." It has a little guy cutting a chain off of his debt, paying off student loans. It has like a guy with a six-pack where he's like healthy, eating healthy. And throughout the years, I've seen this vision board, like all the things that we've achieved from it. And there are still things to be achieved, you know, the big ones like the private plane and the helicopter and whatnot. But it's important also to step back and think about, you know, what have you achieved to date? How can you also live in the moment and be happy with everything that you're achieving? And you don't have to have it all. You can have 50%, 80%, and still be really happy with everything that you've achieved to that point.